Good morning. How are you? This is Mark from newsweed.com. I want to talk to you about people and my saying that it's never as it seems. I'm sitting here in Stevens State Park in an area where I held a picnic for my hiking group. And I want to tell you a little story about how I've learned that it's never as it seems. Well, at the time, we probably had about 2,500 people, although we have about 6,100 people now. And I want you to know that people are very cunning, and this relates to the stock boards, like what you read and what you hear. People have agendas, and they will do manipulative things every day, people around you. It's something you really have to learn. People are not inherently good. They really aren't. They've got a hard time accomplishing things if they don't have a good work ethic, and they're going to try to kind of skirt around the hard work. That's sort of like what happens on the stock boards too. When you see contradiction of opinions, you really have to look for the agenda. So let's talk about this story I'm going to tell you right now. Stevens State Park, I guess it was 2015. Have a lot of nice people that were all friends. And, I say, all right, I'll do a nice thing. I throw a picnic for everybody. I foot the bill. I buy the materials for it, the hot dogs, the buns, the hamburgers. Other people brought some stuff. But what was going to happen is George, this guy who kind of entered our group, which I recognized him as a manipulator right away, he decides, okay, well, he's going to lead a hike while we get the picnic ready. Well, he takes all the people, and it turns into what seemed to be people getting lost. It actually was intentional so that the picnic could never happen, just so that they could be destructive to the efforts of the group. Because the intention always was that they're going to go and form their own group. I recently had a person who does an excellent job leading hikes. And, they come, they organize everything. But really, I see right through the veil, and they're just there to try to, grab users and kind of piggyback on your cost for running the group so that they can just, build their own business, which was supposed to be educational and so forth. So the point is that people have agendas, and you've got to be aware of everybody, because people have different households they come from. Usually the highly educated people are the ones that will try to manipulate people that are just trusting and caring, and you'll never know it. It may take years before you realize, like, holy crap, you know what? That guy that ran that hike the day of the picnic was just trying to be destructive. He just wanted to make sure that that picnic didn't happen, because it would have been a pleasant time by this lovely river, and that is going to be bad for being able to draw people out of the group. So, how can we relate this to stocks? How can we relate everything that happens to stocks? Well, I believe it is possible if you take a look at the drama that goes on in the companies. I think knowing the players of a company, studying their body language. I'll give you an example. I was invested in BNGO, and I kept seeing this guy do presentations on camera, but he kept his hands behind his back. To me, if he wasn't willing to show his hands, he was hiding something. And in fact, he was. Now, how do you study the people? I don't think you could just do it from their released YouTube events. I think you really have to do major investigation into companies these days if you're going to make an investment. Now, I'm involved with Endpq, which is a company that's in bankruptcy now. Now, I am trying to study them much more. The CEO of this bankrupt company was paid $50 million last year, and his CFO, I believe, was paid $20 million. The company has a market value of, I believe, 20. It's very low, but they do billions of dollars in sales. What is going on? What is the real story here? They drop off the NASDAQ because they filed bankruptcy. They dropped off immediately. They didn't have to. They are trying to get creditors to accept certain payments. They're in bankruptcy court now. They delay bankruptcy hearing by a week. There's just a lot of activity from a lot of different people because they're trying to paint a picture here. So what do? Do we take that risk or do we not take that risk? Or do we think about how people act? Are they just trying to take us on a long hike so we can't enjoy the picnic? So we can't see this beautiful running water? So that people drop out of the group, shareholders? It's very curious how people act. I think, honestly, studying the dating world helps you understand the stock market. People's agendas. I had an ex-wife, my God. I still have an ex-wife, thank God. And she was a goddamn manipulator. No matter what you did, it wasn't good enough. And, you can give away your left nut, and she's still going to be complaining about, well, you didn't give the right nut. So I think that in playing the stock market, especially now, there's a lot of money to be made because what these people do, they conspire to manipulate because they're trying to take money out of the market, or they know a stock is going to run. So be aware of people. Make notes on how people act. Make notes on how I act. What the hell is this guy on a YouTube video for? What is he talking about, people being manipulative? Are you the manipulator? Or am I the manipulator? Try to figure that out. It's never as it seems. This is Mark from Newsweed.com. Georgie, go fuck yourself. It could have been a nice picnic. See you later.